I say something respectfully, and you know what? Actually, also a little bit disrespectfully. If you were not born after like 1990, I am not going to take financial advice from you. Like, I am not going to listen to you when you talk to me about how to be financially successful. And I feel like that's going to trigger a lot of older people. But I just
No, no trigger here. I mean, you can do what you want. It's amazing that she mentioned that she's not going to take any advice from anyone who was born before the mid 1990s. So it would include a lot of people. Warren Buffett comes to mind. Isn't that crazy?
just want to be so clear that the economy that you experience, and I'm not saying that you never experienced a tough economy. No one is saying that. The economy has ebbed and flowed for a long time. The one I'm most familiar with would be the 2008 financial crisis. Like, I think a lot of older millennials were really screwed over by that. So I just want to preface this with, no one is saying that you did not like struggle underneath a terrible economy. No one's saying that. But what I am saying is that the current economy that people who were born in like 1994 onward are living under is completely different than anything we have navigated before.
Okay. So that statement proves that she is a product of the modern education system in America because she apparently has never heard of the 1930s and the Great Depression. She believes that history started on the day she was born. And as she just said there, this is the worst that we've ever seen it. Um, it's amazing, really, right?
And the rules are not the same in this one. Okay, like the rules.
The rules are the same. You don't like the rules, but they are the same uh, in terms of building wealth. Now, sure, houses cost more than they did in 1980, and they cost more in 1980 than they did in 1940. All right. Inflation is ever present. Yes, true. Um, there are more opportunities today in the world, in the world that she is inheriting, than there were in all previous generations. Okay. Thanks to technology. I will readily admit that the opportunities are different. You can't go and knock on a HR door and get somebody to open it, give you some tests and hire you like I did. That's gone, true. But by the same token, with technology, this young lady, if she had if she exercised some ingenuity, then I'm sure she has, sits down and exercises some ingenuity, I'm sure she'd be able to come up with a hell of an idea and use the technology to reach a customer base. Today, with the platform like YouTube, you have access to a great percentage, a large percentage of the 8 billion people on the planet.
Are not the same. And sometimes when people from older generations try to give me financial advice, I just look at them and I'm like, that literally doesn't matter anymore.
And that's probably why you're broke. Okay. I'm not, trying to come down on this young woman in a way that's insulting, but I would encourage her to consider this. When it comes to avoiding pitfalls and maybe doing things in such a way that ensure success, maybe hear from people who have been there, done that, so you can avoid, you know, things that aren't productive. Another issue I think she's having is that the reality of it is that it takes 20 years to make an overnight success.
Like, that's actually not a thing anymore. Or advice that I'd be like, well, yeah, that would be an amazing piece of advice 25 years ago. But regrettably, that has nothing to do with our current moment. The budget.
Yeah, investing in an S&P 500 index fund was great advice 25 years ago, and it still is today, considering the S&P 500 has an average return of between 8 and 10% annually. Yeah, it's still good advice today.
Is, instead of trying to give out of touch and outdated advice, just listen.
Just listen to what? You are the one that is complaining. Why don't you listen? Young.
Listen, maybe read like an article from a news source or an economist would be maybe good, and maybe show some empathy instead of trying to be like, well, we also had it really hard. So
When we tell you that we also had it really hard, we are expressing empathy.
And we figured it out because we're just amazing. Because it's almost like you're suggesting that people our age are not, figuring it out. And we are working 3 jobs, watching our grocery bills.
I worked 3 jobs. I ate more tuna than a great white shark. Talking about canned tuna, star-kissed, chicken of the sea.
Go up, watching our healthcare costs go up, unable to get jobs, like applying to hundreds of jobs and still getting like no interviews, delaying
Start your own business.
having children because childcare costs are out of control, like $2,500 to $3,000 a month for one child. And yet you all are pressuring us. You're like, why don't you guys have kids? You guys are so selfish. We're actually
No one's saying that. In fact, if you're choosing not to have kids because you're not in a good financial position right now, then good for you. You're making the right move. You got to be able to take care of kids, right? And they are costly, as she said. So I'm not criticizing you for that. I applaud you for taking that prudent approach.
the least selfish because we're not bringing children into the world that we can't afford. Not to mention that over 1/3 of people under the age of 30 have had to move back in with their parents. Like that's
not a bad thing. Generational living is a good thing. In fact, that is one of the things that can help you really get a financial leg up in this society. And it could also help your parents too. All right? There's nothing wrong with generational living at all. In America, we have been conditioned to believe that it is so that home builders can sell more homes. But is it good for you as an individual? And listen, I speak from the standpoint of someone who is in the real estate business. Okay? I grew up in a multi-generational home. 3 generations. 1 bathroom.
that's a wild statistic. Like maybe just talk to a few young people, figure out what's going on that way. Let yourself be open to believing.
See, I'm not trying to figure out what's going on. You're trying to figure out what's going on. You're trying to figure out how to make it. And you're saying that you're going to reject the advice of people who have been there and done that.
That other people also are struggling. And my preference is actually that I think generations should actually care what happens to each other. I know that's controversial, but I do.
Whatever. Okay, look. By now, you've been able to tell that the channel has taken a little different direction. What we're doing is we are, at this point, just committed to successfully navigating an evolving economy. What this young woman doesn't realize is everybody is in this thing together. I don't care if you've been working for 30 years, right? You still have to navigate the inflationary environment that we're in. You still have to navigate taxation. Okay? She ain't seen nothing yet. Look, speaking of paying the bills, pay attention to this ad for our business.
Yeah!
Life is unpredictable.
Nice man Jackson down here at Top Gun Motors.
We can insure anyone.
For you. It's gonna totally take your breath away. Gonna send you right through the danger zone. Check me. I got a red car. I got black and red too. No money down.
Even him. Get approved. Link in the description.
Keep it rolling.
Okay, look. She may not want to listen, but we just finished a series for 50 and older individuals who are facing or have faced layoff. How do you snap back from that in this environment? Watch that series. I'll talk to you soon.